Yes. And so we created the very first tier of the teacher training manuals, because Yogi Bhajan anointed me to do several things. One is when there was advanced teacher training every year in September out in Pomona, all the teachers of Kundalini Yoga throughout the world would gather to do an advanced 10-day course with him. And he would have myself and Guru Charan Singh teach the morning segment to the teachers. And then he asked me if I would teach pre-Tantra. So I would do the hour to 90 minutes in advance of him coming at all the solstices in New Mexico. And so myself and a woman who's now deceased, she was a psychologist and a Kundalini Yoga student. Her name was Jasjiwan Kaur Khalsa, and her English name was Dr. June Bawa. And he anointed her to found the very first HARI Institute, the Humanological Awareness Research Institute. And so that's another thing I'll get into in a moment.
Okay.
Humanology.
Yeah, good.
Most importantly, so we're listening to these lectures and then transcribing them and then getting the kriyas and the meditations and the postures drawn up by various artists in the Pomona ashram. And after maybe 20, 50, 100, 200 hours of listening to him, again, I come to realize 95% of every lecture is just like junk science, junk psychology, junk spiritual teachings. He'd say, today I'm going to discuss the neutral mind, and I'm going to give you the topology of the various models of the mind. An hour before that lecture, he invited me in, and he said to me, okay, Shama Karan Singh Khalsa, tell me, what do you know about the mind? And I had just read this book. It was called Models of the Mind. And it was a psychoanalytic book on the various topology of the preconscious, the subconscious, the unconscious, the collective unconscious. And so I spent like an hour talking to him about everything that I just read in the book. He went out 2 hours later, and he almost verbatim, word by word, gave the exact same lecture. Everything that I had just shared with him.
Wow.
And so as we were gleaning through these lessons, we realized maybe 5% of every talk, there was like some gold.
Yeah.
And it was usually connected not to the lecture, but to the teaching at the end of the lecture, which was usually some pranayam, some one or two kriyas, and one or two breath practice meditations with mantra.
Okay.
So as we were gleaning through, we realized, Rama and I realized, there isn't a body of knowledge that he actually went and he studied and he's imparting it to us. He did study with various yogis, and he did master, for example, Shabad Yoga, the sound current, and he did master mantra yoga, and he did master how to put various kriyas together in various sequences to facilitate certain responses.